Society Breakdown, day 18, where we're here to talk about chapters 171 through 180 of Bleach, which Lawrence has just read for the first time today or yesterday. Lawrence, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing swell, definitely a late edition of another late edition of the recap, but yeah, excited to get into it.
It's a real fun one.
Yeah, for sure.
We're here to so let's just start off with the poem of volume 20, End of Hypnosis.
Yep.
Those who do not know what love is, liken it to beauty. Those who claim to know what love is, liken it to ugliness.
Yeah, it was, no, wait, can you say it again one more time?
Those who do not know what love is, liken it to beauty. Those who claim to know what love is, liken it to ugliness.
Huh. I mean, yeah, I could like, yeah, it's a definitely profound poem, and I mean, I guess in terms of like interpreting it like love from an outside perspective, like as traditionally seen as beautiful, but it can be definitely quite ugly depending on the circumstances and the fact that it kind of has a lot of emotions and feelings involved. So, uh, yeah, I can see how it relates to these 10 chapters and that volume. So yeah, good poem.
All right. Well, it was the end of Hypnosis, and it starts out with Hitsugaya is down. It was funny to hear you talk about him yesterday, saying, "Oh, can't wait for round two of this fight." Nope, fight's over. He's down for the
Yeah.
count.
Yep. He did his part. Just wasn't at that level. Unfortunately.
Unohana shows up from the fourth division, and Aizen reveals the nature of his Shikai. What did you think of Soka's sweet? I'm forgetting the name of it. Um, yeah, Kyoka Suigetsu.
That's Aizen's Shinkai, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. It was like, is that the hypnosis one or is that the Bankai? That's
that's
hypnosis one.
hypnosis. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, interesting. Definitely a cool power to have. Definitely can see how it would be an OP kind of in this world. And interesting to hear how it was like used, uh, obviously to his benefit earlier in the arc.
And look at you. You didn't even think to suspect that all of the vice captains were under hypnosis the entire time.
Yeah.
Silly you.
What, like, okay, so that's why I was so what did them being under hypnosis, the vice captains, like, do for him? Like, what did how did that help him? Like, like, did like, are they saying that like, okay, how did that help him? Like, how did them being under hypnosis exactly?
So everybody's seen he it just let him do whatever he wanted. Like they thought they were talking to him, and in reality they were talking to somebody else. Whenever they saw him during the Soul Society invasion that's been going on. Um,
But like, did we ever see that from their perspective? Like, did we ever see, like, was there ever a scene where we saw like the vice captains talking to Aizen that wasn't like reality, or was it just like,
I mean, it was the other captains as well. For the most part, pretty much. I think as soon as we see Aizen, he's supposedly they specify that the only time that they after the captains meeting,
uh
when Jin invaded, after from that point on, I think every time we saw Aizen, almost exclusively was hypnosis until his supposed death, which was also hypnosis. Actually, no, sorry, that
okay,
wasn't hypnosis. That was a Gigai.
gotcha, okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, so he had them under hypnosis the whole time. Great plan.
Yeah. Um. So with the revelation that Suika Kyogetsu Nope, I'm saying it wrong again. This is bothering me. With Kyokus, we get his revelation that it only works on people who could be seeing it. Uh, Unohana immediately realizes, oh, and Aizen confirms it. Tosin has been under Aizen's wing the entire time.
Yeah, that one was like shocking to me. The fact that Tosin, who was like Shinigami Soul Reapers till I die, like he was like number one like squad member, like is suddenly just like flipped the switch and is like a complete rebel. Like I don't know, it seems to go completely against all of the ideals that he's been like preaching about, like since in the well, to be fair, I've only like known him for like 10 pages worth of manga, so I like don't really have enough of a info on his background other than that like 2-page backstory that I got from him. So I mean, I probably would be more impactful if I knew more about his character as to like him switching, but it does seem like very counter to what I would expect from him.
Here's the thing. I think he says it is that justice lies with the victor.
Like the only other like little hint I that they gave that maybe they're like I don't even know if it's him, but like he mentioned like something about I'm siding with the people that will have that will create less bloodshed or something like that. I feel like that was like a line somewhere. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I don't like maybe he's been sold on some sort of like utopian dream that Aizen and whatever the people here working he's working for are selling, and that's why But yeah, that's all I can think of.
Well, uh, everybody learns of Aizen's betrayal. What did you think of all hands on deck and everybody?
The squad
Uh,
assembling.
yeah, and what did you think when they first announced that they were targeting Rukia?
Wait, say that again. You cut off for a sec.
What did you think when they first announced that they were targeting Rukia?
Yeah, I was like wondering because it's well because like the fact that they kept moving up the her day of like what you want what
Execution.
execution. Yeah, the fact they kept moving up her day of execution and they had control over the council and that was like what their motive was. Like I obviously like thought okay they really want Rukia to die for some reason, so that I wasn't shocked that they wanted her to die. I was more shocked I guess about the nature of it in terms of it being like something that yeah you're like this this like Soul Reaper tool or weapon that Urahara built that allowed for like Soul Reapers to reach some sort of like holification,
Yeah.
and then it was like implanted in her at some point, and then that's why he put her in the Gigai because he wanted her to become more human, so they'd be hard it would be harder to track her and this and that. I mean, there was a lot like it was a huge info dump there for sure. But uh yeah, I mean it was
He was the
uh
author of their fate the entire
yeah,
time.
yeah.
My
I,
favorite type of twist reveal.
right. Yeah, like he knew it from the beginning. Oh man, he's like, I knew you would land here at this time, at this
He
place.
was he was the one who put Rukia, Renji, and Hinamori
Yeah,
together.
right.
He was the author of everything that was going on. They never
Right.
had
Yeah.
control. They
Yeah.
only did what he wanted them to do.
Right. Yeah. The all-knowing Aizen, the fucking yeah, man. Yeah, he was running shit for sure. But yeah, it was interesting to see all the everyone show up one at a time to kind of like lay their claim of like oh Aizen like it was like one at a time people were like Aizen wait is this dude Aizen we thought we love him and then he's like nah I suck now and then they're like oh damn that sucks and it was like kind of like a rotation of people like realizing that Aizen is a douche now so it was cool to get the reactions one by one.
So when Ichigo shows up to fight with fight together with Renji
Yeah.
against Aizen. What did you think of that moment?
It was fun. They had their classic little argument in the middle, right before an intense fight
Mm.
moment. You know that always fun stuff. With Aizen looking on, thinking, "Oh, like these idiots!" But it was also cool. Like even Ichigo was like getting the little props from Aizen. Like as he was leaving, he was like, "Man, Ryoka, man, you really impressed me, bro. Like I was expecting just like you to just be an ant I could step on, but hey, you know, I actually had fun with this." So you know, it was cool to see him get some acknowledgement from his enemies.
How about when Aizen blocks the Bankai attack with a finger and then
Yeah,
almost cleaves Ichigo in half?
yeah, that was yeah. he
It's like,
uh
oh, yeah, it's, oh
He's like,
shit.
yeah, he's like, yeah, he's like, you thought you were getting to the top of the captain level, but you're only like, I mean, he's still probably like stronger than like half the captains right now, but um, yeah, you know, good stuff for sure.
So what did you think of what do you think of Urahara now with what Aizen revealed with everything that he was hiding?
I mean, he's definitely a lot more dastardly than I had anticipated. I mean, I kind of thought he was a shady figure from the get go. uh you know, he's like he has like children working for him like in a like like a weird like underground, like it's definitely breaking the child labor laws there. But yeah, so he's I from on that front I thought he was like already slightly sketchy, but you know, the fact that he implanted this like game changing weapon in Rukia, and kind of just like sent Ichigo and his crew into here without giving him any background info as to his connection with the Soul Society and like all the shenanigans going on there. It seems very short sighted. Like he had to know that there are like people like chase like some powerful people that like want what is inside of Rukia. Like I mean, it's kind of just a dereliction of duty to.
Well, that's why he sent Ichigo and his friends so willingly to help them, and that's why he trained Ichigo.
Well, okay, so it also like puts more like into like the forefront of like why his like motivations. Like it wasn't just pure like altruism like he like you initially might have thought it was, just because like maybe you thought him
Hmm.
and Ruki had like a close like friendship kind of thing, but it definitely like puts more light and definitely like it makes more sense why he like helped them train and fight. I still think you should have given him like a little bit more like info like before he went in there, and like they're lucky that it kind of worked out like the way it did. You know, I think it would have been beneficial for both parties if there was just like a little bit of like a information download. You didn't have to give him like the whole thing, like the specifics about the weapon, but you could have at least said like shit like might really hit the fan beyond just like the traditional like the Soul Reapers are mad because Rukia you're trying to like stop Rukia from getting executed. There might be some whole like third party thing going on that like fucks everything to like another level, you know?
But you know, Urahara works in mysterious ways.
Right. For sure, for sure.
What did you think about the Hogyokyu? Did you think that this was going to be the reason why Ruki was being targeted?
The what thing?
The Hogyoku?
Oh, Uh, I mean, obviously, I didn't expect that was like the reason. Like exactly. Like I didn't
Because you
expect.
didn't know it exists.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like there was no reason for me to expect that would happen. But yeah. I mean, I knew there was like some like there was definitely going to be some red herring or some like plot device that was going to be the reason as to why Rukia was being like sought after. Like there had to be some sort of thing like that. And
What a
yes,
device
I
it
wasn't
is.
surprised. Huh? Huh?
What a device it is.
Yeah, what a device.
See,
Yeah.
you know, it's funny that everybody says Soul Society is a really great arc. Like the end of it, you know, I think is pretty good because it's like pretty fun of how it just goes from nowhere and it's just, oh, here's the main villain all along. Here's the main reason. Here's why he's doing this. Look at all these
That's
things.
what I'm
By the way,
saying.
he's completely overpowered. So it's really funny to me that you were saying that you would read that this is like a top tier arc
Yeah,
in
I was like
Shonen.
this blew my mind. Like even like after reading these 10 chapters, I like Googled to like make sure I hadn't like tricked my mind into thinking I saw this. But like if you go to YouTube and like search top 10 anime arcs, like Watch Mojo has a thing, and they have Soul Reaper as the third, the Soul Society as the third best anime arc of all time. Like they ranked it over. Like the only thing they have above it is like Enies Lobby and some like Dragon Ball Z arc. I forgot what it was. Like they ranked like Shogun Assassination from like Gintama over that. They ranked the fucking Chimera Antark is under that. Like that, there's like so many fucking classic stuff that I'm like,
Well,
who?
Lawrence, it sounds like you just had a top 10 anime betrayal.
Yeah, man, it's like insane. And I like went to the Bleach subreddit and I searched about it, and people. I mean, there were other people that were saying like their other arcs are better, but then there was like still a big contingent that was like Soul Reaper. Soul Society is the best arc, and it's all downhill after that. Like there's definitely a contingent of like Bleach fans. I didn't read too deep into it because I'm not trying to get spoiled on anything, but I
So
just
I
like
I will say this is definitely the best paced arc out of all of them.
right.
It is
That
the
was
most.
the oh
It is
yeah.
also the most coherent,
Gotcha. That was yeah,
which
that was
is
pretty
just
much
funny.
the leading point people like were giving when saying like it goes downhill after this is because they say the pacing is like the best here. That was like that
Yeah.
was like one of the leading arguments as to why people say this is the best Bleach arc for
See,
sure.
but the best bleach is just chaotic bleach, and you're gonna start tipping into chaotic bleach soon, and that's one of the series is so much. It's just
Thank you.
when it's
I mean,
just
that's what
pure
I'm saying.
chaos.
If you're not gonna do like great plot development and character development and like interstitial like talking scenes and stuff like that, well, then you got to just go like full on into like fucking like WikiLeaks, just like crazy, just dropping bombs everywhere, like shit. Like you can't just like
So society is great because it helps set up like all the building blocks for the rest of the series for them to just spin off into like craziness.
But that was like so my ultimate problem with this whole like ending with the whole Aizen twist is like they did all this reveal about this twist and everything, but like you still didn't really get any information if you really like think about it for a second. Like I don't really know Aizen's like goal outside of like becoming more powerful. You have no clue what Tosin's up to. I
Well,
still
what
don't
what do
know
you think Aizen's goal is?
at this point what from what they're telling me is just he's just like a power hungry bitch, like he just like wants to like rule the world. Like I think that's like his
Well,
goal,
no, it's right here on the infographic. He wants to be the one to stand on the heavens.
which means be the most powerful person. Like that's pretty much what it
Yeah,
boils down to. So that's what I'm thinking his goal is. I mean it's kind of a boring goal honestly, but
I mean
I
he's
maybe they'll
already clearly one of the most powerful people we've seen in the series.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like okay, it's just kind of boring. Like, is this not that really that interesting of a goal? And then I don't even know what Jen wants, like, because he's clearly like not as strong, never going to be as strong as Aizen, and I still don't know what that dude's up to. He's just like a fucking like snake guy. Like, I don't know
That,
what's going
that's
on.
that's his thing. Is a snake. That's why he's so much snake imagery.
Yeah, I still don't know like what's going on with that. I don't know what Rengiku sees in him. She's like thirsty over.
Um, I think well, it goes into a little bit maybe later on, but I think by now you kind of get a little glimpse that they know each other prior to entering the
Yeah,
group
we
of
got that.
13.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that they were childhood friends. That's where it starts from.
And then but yeah, and then like yeah, so I still like I don't even know what Jen's doing, and then like Tosin obviously I have no clue. So I'm just like so like you like there was like a huge twist, but you still didn't really like learn anything. Like I think honestly, like you just learn you just the twist reveal was just like revealing like making the previous like 40 chapters make sense, but it didn't really it's not really setting you up for anything in the future like other than just like
Oh no, it is.
it is okay.
It's setting it up for a lot.
All right.
This like I'll just go out and say it. Aizen is pretty much like one of the main antagonists of the entire series.
I mean that's what I feel like
Yeah,
I mean they're setting that's what I imagine that they're setting this up for. I mean obviously when
yeah.
you have this big a reveal and I imagine like the future arcs are going to be like him like Ichigo fighting whatever mess Aizen or the Hollows are making, like in cahoots with a few, like one, like pick a Soul Reaper out of the hat. Like one of the captains are gonna. I feel like each arc is gonna be like a captain shows up and helps Ichigo do this thing, and then the next one is like maybe two captains show up, another two, and then there's probably gonna be some like another big arc where they all have to come together again and then fight Aizen and whatever, and then yeah, it's just gonna be that perpetuity, you know, like pretty much.
Well, what did you think then of Aizen getting yeeted out of there by the Menos Grandes?
I mean, clearly it shows he's still someone else's bitch a little bit, I guess. Like, you know, he because I think if it were up to his control, he probably still would have just like wanted to like waste Rukia and just do laid waste to the rest of the people.
Well,
But
you know, he got what he came for. He's not
yeah,
concerned about stepping on the ants any further.
that's true. I mean,
You know, he was like he said peace, and then he just sort of like disappeared, like the GIF.
that's what I'm saying. Like I would have liked to at least get like some info on like who he's working with and like what is like.
He's working with Jin and Tosin.
But then, like, he has these Minos Grande people on the payroll too. Clearly, like, so like I didn't know
Uh,
Hollows were sentient enough to like. I mean, I guess you got like a glimpse
what?
into that fact with the Hollow that killed Ichigo's mom
Yeah,
and
Grand
stuff that
Fisher.
yeah, that they have like some sort of like intelligence like faculties, but I didn't know they were on the level to where they were like in cahoots with like Soul Reapers who are their sworn enemies, supposedly speaking. I get that he's going against the Soul Reaper name and their ideals and whatever, so Aizen's a different case, but you know, it's definitely would have liked to get a little bit more on that.
Well, Aizen dips out, and then we get some healing scene. What did you think of the Byakuya backstory?
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, that was it was interesting to get like the kind of development as to like why I don't know, like I still think like it was kind of like like I get you promised on your grave to not like break the code, but it's like your wife on her deathbed was like protect my fucking sister, and it took him this long to like kind of like take that claim like seriously, like even like in the moments where he's kind of like defending where he's like going by the code and is like I won't break the code, I don't care about her dying, like he could have at least like showed some emotion or something, like you know, he was just kind of like cold this whole time, and I'm kind of like if you like really felt.
He's a nobleman.
So you're saying he couldn't show emotion because it would like break his code as like a noble guy,
He's
like he
you know
has to like show like
he's the heir to a noble family. You know, a dynasty in the
okay, all right,
whole society.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, but like damn bro, like you like come on man, like I don't know, like I mean I'm happy he like eventually was able to kind of like, you know, do what needed to be done and like protect Rukia, and that Ichigo kind of like drove him to kind of like drove the correct ideals in his head, and he was able to do it. But I
Mm.
was like damn man, like you could like that's it like
The so the poem for volume 19, No Nothing Will Change My World, is it's about his Ichigo as much as it is about Byakuya. And for
mhm,
Byakuya, it's that's his belief that Ichigo shatters.
yeah. So yeah, so I mean I like it from that perspective of
Mm.
like there that probably my favorite part of the whole Soul Reaper, I mean Soul Society arc has been like the Byakuya Ichigo kind of relationship and how they kind of like are complete opposites of each other, but they kind of
Mhm.
bring out the best in one another, you know, in terms of like Byakuya was like the motivating factor to push Ichigo to becoming like his most powerful self, and and like become more staunch in his ideals, while you know while Byakuya was kind of influenced by Ichigo to kind of you know break away from his like more noble and more like rigid like structure, and kind of like look inside and see what he actually wants and what he feels is right, and kind of fight for that. So I liked their dynamic, and their fight was great. You got to see the Bankais and the Shinkais and all that going on. So that was definitely my favorite through line for the arc for sure.
So we end today's set of chapters with it's the aftermath. Everybody's recuperating, and there's a little bit of a cliffhanger. Rukia is missing.
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
I mean, my guess is she's like going to try find her like sister's grave or something like that. Like I imagine it might have something to do with that. It's either I feel like it's either that or the other thing I can see it being, which I hope it isn't, is like her like still being, inner feelings about the situation, how it all resolved. Because we really haven't gotten like an update yet as to like how she feels about all the events as they transpired, and I hope it's like not her running away and being like, I'm going to like live alone and live a hermit life or some like bullcrap like that, like and escape this madness or whatever. I don't know. I hope it's not that stuff. I hope it's like something like more sentimental, like she's trying to find her sister's grave or some shit like that. I hope it's like that. Like I don't hope it's like the whole I'm abandoning this, I'm emo now kind of thing.
Well, don't worry. It's just an odd break in the 10 chapters that we end there, so it's nothing crazy.
Okay, good. Please, I
Um,
could not take that.
yeah,
I'm done. I'm done with that.
you have 2 chapters left of the Soul Society arc. You talked about the highlight of the arc for you being Ichigo and Byakuya and how they sharpened one another. But anything else you want to? What are your thoughts on Soul Society as a whole on a big macro scale?
On a big macro scale, like trying to like figure out the part, like because I feel like two ways about it. Like on one hand, like I'll start with the positives first. I mean, obviously I said that Ichigo Byakuya stuff was great. um Even though I felt like overwhelmed by the amount of characters that were introduced and like the way they were introduced, I wasn't the hugest fan of. It was at least they were they at least had like interesting character designs. I could see like me having fun with them in future arcs if they're like give like put out in a more digestible way where you're like dealing with a few of the captains at a time. I think that would be more enjoyable just to get more depth to the characters there. um I like the world building elements of it, like the whole, like it was fun to see how this kind of world kind of works, and and like how their society is like similar to the Earth or real life, but like different at the same time, and the variance is there. And like your Ichi was cool. I mean, on the downside, the Uryu fight was great. I like the stuff with Uryu.
Mhm.
Um, if I'm talking downsides, I would probably say I wasn't a huge fan of the twist, obviously. Um,
This is the best part because it means that everything else before it was leading up to this moment.
Yeah. I don't like when they do that. I mean, just like write a fucking story, man. Like don't like write
Listen,
all this bullshit and then just like inject something at the end. I hate that.
since
What do
when
you
were you under the impression that this wasn't about Aizen?
think? Right, I know. Yeah. But
Were you the one who was under hypnosis the entire time?
I think I was. I
Yeah.
think I was. I broke it. I broke it though. The twist broke me. Um yeah.
Did you break it or did he simply allow it to end for you?
I guess, I mean, he wrote it, so I guess the author he wrote it, so I guess you could say that. I mean, obviously,
Taito Kubo works in mysterious ways.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, and I wanted to like Jin as a character more, but I still like he's still too like incognito for me for being like spending like 40 chapters with him. I feel like I would like to know more about this guy, Like
I mean, it
it
was
seems kind
closer
of
to 90 chapters.
yeah, you're
No,
right.
no, it was actually 100 chapters because we meet him in the 70s, and
Yeah. So like for a character that we've like met over the course of 100 chapters,
yeah.
for me to know like about the same amount as I did going like when I first like read his introduction, like is I don't like that at all. Like if he's especially if he's like a character that's like a major turning point in the series, like leading that. Um uh it was still fun though. Like I had a good time. Like I don't regret reading it. Like if I will say if you like look at we're at like 170 in the 170s, the 180s now.
Yeah, you're heading into the 180s.
We're in the 180s, and like if I'm comparing it to like One Piece, like I don't even do that comparison. Like it lost that battle a long time ago. And then if I'm comparing to Naruto, we're like through the Sasuke retrieval arc. Like by now, we've had like two or three like amazing arcs. Like I think in that span compared to this, like
I think we're only in the middle point of the Sasuke retrieval arc.
let me look it up.
So if we're at 180,
You're probably right. I think.
so this is volume 21. Okay, yeah. So
Oh,
volume
that's
21 starts at
172,
100.
238.
Volume 100, chapter 181 is Sasuke leaving home, leaving the village,
Okay.
and being confronted by Sakura. So this is literally the start of the arc.
Okay, it's literally the start of that. But even like that, but I feel like in comparison, like I feel like a lot more time, like a lot more stuff happened within that, like those 181 chapters compared to this. Like,
I
because I feel
agree.
like, because I don't know, like even though people say the pacing is like amazing for this arc or the like the best, it
It's
wasn't that
amazing by
great
compare. No,
pacing.
it's amazing by comparison to the rest of the series.
Like
That's
this
what it
pacing
is.
wasn't good. I don't know what people are like. What like like there was so much like wasted time. Like honestly, I don't know. Um,
Oh, just wait. You're gonna get taken on a magical journey for the next for the rest of the series on the
yeah.
pacing.
Oh God. Yeah. I don't know, but like I said though, like
Actually, I take that back. There is one arc that is actually the best pace in the series.
really
I know a lot of people are really down on it because I do concede that it was very frustrating to read on a week by week basis. But when you can read it pretty quickly all at once, I think it is actually very well paced because Kubo at that point does decide he wants to change things up and do an arc that's a certain style. And I
okay.
think he actually does succeed at that pretty well.
Nice. Okay. But yeah. Overall, yeah. So overall, I just, like if I had to give it like out of 10, it's probably like a 7.5, like maybe an 8. Do you think that's high?
It's
I
your
don't know.
scoring. It's your
I don't
scoring.
know, man. I'm being generous here. I don't know. I don't know. Like
It's like a six at best for me.
I think you're fair. I think that's probably right too. I don't like. I was trying to be nice, honestly. It said with a 7.5 because
I'm not here to be nice. I'm
I'm
here to
not here
be
to
real.
coddle. I'm
This
not here to
is
be
Soul Society, real world edition.
right. Yeah, not here to make friends. You're here to fucking tell
Yeah.
it like it is. I mean, like, yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right with the 6. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm just like bum puzzled how anyone was like read this or watched. Maybe the anime version was better, like,
I
but
can see that. I haven't seen the anime, but I can very much
because
see that.
most of the people also I forgot to mention when I was like reading through, like a lot of people like couched their opinions saying, I saw the anime and I think and for I've heard the anime is better in terms of this, like in terms of adapting this arc, like so maybe that could be like what's lost in translation here in terms of like why it's so highly regarded.
Yeah, I'll be honest. It wouldn't be surprising to me if this is one of the cases where I think the anime really does actually beat out the manga version of the series because it's able to actually do a lot of things that the manga did poorly
Yeah.
correctly. But for me, I'll throw this out there. I'm always pretty much always manga over anime because it's the source material. I'd like to have it in the way it was originally released
Intended.
and then intended. Yeah, and I feel like there's a sort of expressionism that is uniquely created through the manga, through the
Uh-huh.
panel placement and all the artwork that just doesn't translate to the anime. I will definitely always the fights are going to be better in the anime because they're going to be pretty much way more
Oh yeah,
coherent
the fights are always better in anime. Like it's not even.
for any shonen almost uniformly. Yeah, there are very
Mhm.
few like shonen that have like really great fights in the manga that are actually like super detailed. Like that
Right.
Bleach is definitely nowhere near that. Bleach's fights are very hard to follow in the
Right.
manga.
Right.
Um, but what I love about Bleach is the artwork, the mood Kubo creates through his panels. Really great character designs and introductions, fantastic spreads, and as it gets later into the series, it just dovetails into batshit craziness. And I have such fond memories of once I started week to week of just this series, just feeling like I was getting trolled all the time.
Oh really?
Just like,
Okay.
oh, I can't believe this is here. Oh God, look at this shit. Oh,
Yeah.
it's just like, oh fuck.
Right. So yeah, I mean,
Like,
yeah, maybe the problem like with this arc is it's like still like kind of like an introductory arc because you're
oh yeah,
really being
yeah.
introduced to like a
This
ton of
is,
characters.
this is the first real arc of the series. Like,
Hmm.
this the entire series pretty much has it's kind of tough. I guess technically the next arc, I consider the next arc to be like incredibly long, but in reality, it's probably like several arcs as part of a larger
Right.
thing. But the way I view the series is pretty much like four arcs to me,
You're
really.
right. I mean,
Um,
because like there was like still characters in this last 10 chapters I read that I was like being introduced to. I was like, who the fuck is this? I've never seen this person in my fucking life, and now they're like, but they're like talking like I'm supposed to be like, oh, that's
like
that person from this thing, like doing this,
like
like
Unohana's vice captain.
yeah, like Isane or whatever. I'm like, who the fuck is this? Like they were like the way they like had her talking, like it was like I was supposed like she looks like girl Ichigo. Like I thought that was Ichigo for like for like 2 pages until they did like a full body shot and I was like, oh, that's a woman. That's not Ichigo. So yeah, like I don't know, like
It,
stuff like
it,
that.
it was just another hypnosis thing. You just never noticed her until the author wanted you to notice that she was there all along.
Right. Like I don't know, like I feel like if you're doing your job correctly, I should be able to like say 1 through 13, this is what they do, this is their specialty, this is the captain. Like if you want me to care about the vice captains, all of them, I should be able like to figure that out too. But like I don't know, like I don't feel like the job was done here honestly in terms of like if you're going to like take bite off this much, like you got to be able to chew it. Like honestly, I don't know. Like I'm kind of like, that definitely left a bad taste in my mouth. Like I'm like, I'm like my only hope is that it like this is made right by like select captains getting like a bigger bump in the upcoming arcs. Like I hope that's what happens. Like they come in like a few at a time and
Who do you want to see more of?
um I fuck. I'm losing. I'm blanking on like the Shinsui. Is Shansui?
Shansui?
I want Shansui. I want Ukatake. Am I right? Ukatake.
I think it's Ukitake, yeah.
Ukatake. I
But,
want
like
him.
again, I'm someone who's never read I've never seen the anime, and I don't know Japanese functionally, so
Yeah.
I'm not
I
perfect
want.
on these either.
I want him. I want him. I want Shansui. I want some Shansui. I already said that. I want some. I want some Hitsugaya action. I wouldn't mind seeing some more Hinamori Momo. I wouldn't mind, if she lives, that'd be pretty chill. Um,
Who do you not want to see more of? Who could you care less if you saw return?
I mean, see, that's the thing. Like, there's no one that I'm like just fully out on. There's no one that I'm just like, I please do not put this person back on my manga in my manga panels. Like the closest that I would get to would probably be Jen, just because I'm so pissed that I didn't learn shit about him after 100 chapters. But in general, I'm kind of like, whatever. If everyone like, got enough shine, everyone got enough for me that I'm kind of like either they got enough for me where I'm like I want to see them back, or they didn't get enough to the point where I'm kind of like there. I didn't get anything irredeemable. There wasn't anything irredeemable shown. So you know, yeah, that's what I say. I don't care. Like I'm like kind of indifferent. I don't know. Like maybe that's worse though. Like I almost like would prefer to like have some harsher feelings about some of these people.
This is what I was really hoping for when I proposed that we do this
Yeah,
kind of thing. That's what because this is what I'm looking forward to from as we head forward. More like this where we really go back and forth and get to rant about what you've just read.
yeah. That was like, man, this is like, like I don't know, man. I'm just like confused, honestly. I'm still just hung up on the fact that people love this arc so much. Like I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. I got two more chapters left. Maybe they'll everything will be fixed in these next two.
That's very optimistic of you.
Like and like this Soul Society, man, they need to like reform. They're just horribly run. Whoever that like head dude needs, that head guy, he needs to step down. Like he's doing a
Yamamoto.
horrible job. Yeah, he's doing a horrible job.
Well, he's only in charge of the 13 divisions. He's not in charge of the bureaucracy, which is the Central 46.
Yeah, but like you still like let Aizen and Jin just like fucking like flop their fucking dicks around and do whatever the fuck they want. Like I don't know, man. Like do your job, bro. Like I don't know. I'm just like I'm disappointed in this Soul Society. Like they need to get their shit together.
Well, what did you think of the biggest reveal of all? That
What?
Aizen's glasses are just for show. Then he
Oh
rustles
man.
his hair.
He's a Chad. He went from it's like
He he, he glowed up.
he glowed up.
Yeah,
The Chad Eisen is like the Virgin Eisen had the glasses of Chad Eisen now oh my god, man. He got contacts. I guess he made no. He was like wearing those like so.
he
Man,
never needed the glasses to
so
begin
no
with.
one.
That was
Damn.
just part of
So
the hypnosis. Nobody could realize that he didn't need the glasses.
oh god, man. Yeah, like. Like, and I like how like now like everyone's just like cool now. Like even though like each like the 12th division captain like was about to like dissect Orihime and like torture Uryu, like now everyone's just like buddies now. They're all just like, oh, we're the soul the Soul Reapers and Ichigo's crew are all besties now just because Aizen is a douchebag. Like now we're all cool. Like I don't know. Like it's like
Yeah, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
I guess. I don't know, but like after all of that, like that's all that
Friendship
needed to
with
happen.
Aizen is over.
That's all that needed to happen. Like that, like Aizen and Jin just like flopping flipping sides is all it took. Like he was like literally the
I mean, it's a pretty big betrayal. He murdered the entire
Yamamoto was like
governing body.
about to fucking like disembowel like his captains for like saving Rukia. And
No,
now
he
he,
was just going to give him a spanking. He
I
wasn't
guess.
going to kill him.
Yeah, I guess so. You're probably right. You're probably right on that one, actually. But yeah, yeah, a lot went down for sure. A lot went down in those 10.
You have any other thoughts you want to share?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I think I got it all out.
Well, I feel like I've gotten your prediction for what you hope to see in the manga coming forward. You've finished volume 20, End of Hypnosis. Uh, Tomorrow you're going to be able to finish volume 21, Be My Family or Not.
Yeah,
And did you recognize the character on the cover of Be My Family or Not?
I don't even remember the cover of Be My Family or Not, so I can't.
Okay.
Let me. Wait. I have
No, don't
stuff
worry
here.
about it.
Wait. No, I don't. I just see a back of it. Like these, like a bowl cut, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Should
Well,
I?
you've seen them before. Well, we'll talk more about it tomorrow.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I'm good.
All right. You've got a decent 10 chapters ahead of you. It's a nice cool down.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I'll see. I'll see. I'm intrigued to see how this return to normalcy is going to go. I'm sure they're going back to school now and doing their thing.
Yeah. If you're watching us after the fact, you can follow us on Twitch at IMF Streams. That is IMF Streams
Hmm.
to watch the updates when we do them live. And if you're watching live on Twitch, which one of you is right now, you can also go to our YouTube, which is IMF Stream, to go back and watch any of the recaps that you have yet to see.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Lawrence. We're going to continue on this wild ride
All
tomorrow.
right. Justice for Chad. He was done wrong. That's all. That's the last thing I have to say.
You'll get plenty of Chad content coming forward. Don't
Justice.
worry.
His abuelo's crying
The Willow's dead.
in his grave. All
Have
right.
a good one, folks. Bye.
All right. Bye.